Yeah, it's like if someone uses an analogy. If you take their analogy and twist it a little bit, they'll might better understand your point rather than you just being cold.
Right. So when you play your little word games with the lizard ape human analogy, that you're not doing the same thing. You're just sitting there wagging your finger at. Yeah, fuck you.
X equals Y, then Z equals watermelon or something. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, so that was to say what, fuck logic? Yeah, I don't think you're going to win that argument.
Gary's response to this was, I have to placate everyone's inner asshole in order to get through to them. You know, what can you do?
Well, there's a certain truth to that, regardless. I mean, we are filtered through these apes and lizards, and so, the filtering works both ways. We obviously we feed off other people's passion. We feed off of other people's nuance and mannerisms and lizardy behavior. Unfortunately, we're charmed by how somebody looks or what kind of little lilt there is in their voice. I mean, there's a certain charm to Grey Tex's little Scottish accent. I mean, these are all the little nuances of communication that are our fact of our lizard ape human origins.
But of course that's a straw man, because what I've said is you have to speak to people in a language they can hear, and Gary's come back saying Great Text says that you've got to placate everybody's biases and prejudices, and you've got to allow them to be assholes, and then speak to them.
That's not what I've said. What I've said is your diversity theory, that somehow all this diversity isn't going to create incredible conflict and inevitable doom and death, is bullshit. Human beings are not going to become something else. They are not going to become Mr. Spock without a huge infusion of green fucking blood. And I don't see anybody volunteering to get injected with green blood tomorrow. So it ain't going to fucking happen. Alright? Human beings have no elegant future if they're going to maintain their attachments to their fucking individuality and their diversity. Fuck that. It ain't going to work.
So that's a straw man for starters, okay? But the straw man thing itself, this is why, we don't need to rake through Gary's 1,200 10-minute long videos.
Yeah, it'd be nice if you did it, though. It'd be nice if you have this image of straw man that you actually connected it to an argument. And then you just put the argument on the table and say, see, when you said this to that, you straw manned his argument. And then, like I said, then I can come back and I can say, okay, well, you want the straw made out of tiger tank steel? Here's the argument. Here's another 10-minute video, and I will make the straw into steel, and then I will drive it right through you.
12,000 minutes of videos to provide the evidence for Gary that he's a straw manner. Okay, all you need to do is look at the latest one, where he's talking about straw man and the citizen worm.
Right, let's do that. Let's look at it. Okay, now could you possibly quote from it? Possibly?
And he gives a straw man in that video itself.
Good.
Because this is, to me, this is what straw man is.
Oh.
And it seems quite sensible as to, this is the etymology, the origins of straw manning. It's building an effigy of someone out of straw, pointing at that effigy and pretending it's the real person, demonizing it, and then burning it down.
Right. And
that
so
appears to be what straw manning is.
Right. So she didn't do that when she said, well, he's not understanding, because he doesn't want to understand. He's not listening. What was the other concept she used? And that wasn't straw manning, her presumptions that the fault lies in the inmendham, not in the citizen worm, because the citizen worm has had the phantasmagorical experience, and she knows from personal experience, but she cried on the floor, that life has meaning. She just knows it. Don't tell me I straw man her. If I have hours of conversation with her, okay? I didn't go into all the details of the complete nonsense that is the substance of her belief in life on Earth, okay? Because it's number one, it's sort of personal. I don't have the right to go into it on YouTube videos. But her explanation for why she is confident that life means something is really so preposterous.
Now, Gary's description of Citizen Worm in that video was so far off base and so far off my perception of Citizen Worm.
Yeah, so that means it's off base because it's off your perception. Well, I have had hours of conversation with her that you haven't had, okay, on subjects where you begin to start gleaning an explanation for why she sees the world the way she does. She thinks exceptional people need exceptionally expansive investment made into them because they're exceptional and we should invest in the exceptional. I mean, she has lots of theories that aren't too brilliant.
But so far off any rational, logical deduction you can make about who Citizen Worm is, that it could only be a straw man.
Whatever, I'm allowed to sit there and say, phantasmagorical, I can see the purple unicorn. The rainbow is, you know, flying right out of their ass, and I can label them what they are, phantasmagorical. They have presumed, okay, purpose beyond what the facts indicate. They have presumed an origin beyond what the facts have indicated. Okay, so I can classify their argument, and I can just say, instead of phantasmagorical, I can just say illogical mushifier. Okay, because that's all it is. It's illogical mush. Period. Until they bring something that indicates something other than that, that's what they are.
Unless Gary has just twisted perceptions, which is a possibility.
Yeah, well, you have a stupid flat head and kind of a square on the side head, and so I think that distorts your brain. I think it compresses your brain, and that's why you don't get it right. Fuck you.
Gary does have selective hearing, but of course, I don't want to use the psychobabble because you're not allowed to use psychobabble.
Yeah, no, there's a difference between psychology and psychobabble. That's right, exactly. I'm really pro-psychology. I'm just anti, this is what makes the blah, 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 when it doesn't. You really have to incorporate the lizard-ape intelligence thing into the argument, or I'm going to, yes, because that's a premise now of my logic and my psychological theory. So, yeah, it's kind of a non-starter if you're starting off with some sort of, no, we're really just innately hierarchical, and this is blah, 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 and we're all just playing blah, 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 ego, 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 blah, 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 blah. Yeah, it's psychobabble.
In order to talk about inmendham. Because he's already made one of his reptilian counter-arguments to psychology. As in...
No, it was an intellectual human brain came up with that theory, not the reptilian.
Girly science, and it's not for men, and it's weak. And of course that's his reptilian side coming out again.
Yeah, bullshit. I haven't even done that, so I don't even know where you get that crap from. But it's the phantasmagorical unicorn theory, magic rainbow theory. That's pretty girly.
It's just this, the fact that he does play to people's inner assholes. Yeah. And Stickcam last week when I joined, his first thing was, oh hello, it's the puppy rabbit guy. That's what he called it. It's like, what does that even mean?
Well, I guess it's sort of an inside joke. I mean, Wookdar did a video and he was talking about, rabbit puppies. So I guess you didn't watch his video, but it was just kind of funny. It was a funny line, asshole. Okay, so I guess you didn't get the inside joke, but you didn't watch his video. But, he said rabbit puppies. It was just funny.
The puppy rabbit guy. But when I hear people saying shit like that, I just laugh to myself.
Yeah, because you're such an arrogant fucktard. You don't get the facts, you don't understand the context, so you just sit back and laugh because you're an asshole. There.
How silly they are. Yeah. I don't let the reptilians say, how dare you, I must defend my honor. And, oh dear, it's the guy who, gratuitously evil insult, deleted. I could say stuff like that to him.
And what you can't do is make a logical argument.
It would hurt him. Not only hurt him emotionally, but it would.
Oh, you can't hurt me, okay? All you can do is stun me with your pomposity, okay? You pricked hard.